The hot topic that is currently going on here in Kenya is about corruption. Since the president fiercely talked about corruption taking place among politicians, several Kenyans, more particularly politicians, have come out to give their reactions to the allegations made by the president. And so, in this particular video, former minister in the cabinet of Mwai Kibaki is also out joining his fellow politicians to castigate the president on matters of corruption. And according to him, the president is the most corrupt individual we have currently here in Kenya. He also went ahead to give evidences relating the president with corruption. And so, before we dive deep into the analysis, I want you to listen to him.
Parliament acquired a colossal position, and the parliament became almost stronger than the executive. A lot of work was given to parliament, the style of Kibaki, that don't interfere with anything that is operating, allow institutions to flourish. So parliament almost became rogue. And that's the time that we witnessed a bit of presence of members of parliament asking for kickbacks to deal with issues that were even mundane, coming from the ministry. I witnessed that because even previous, I was assistant minister twice. This therefore means it is not because I was part of the executive that I witnessed that. But for the last number of terms since 2010 constitution, it seems that thing has become rampant. And it's not all members of parliament. There are certain members of parliament that get involved in that. Now, this particular regime of President William Ruto has been the most vicious in terms of watering down the other institutions. The institution of parliament was decimated by him bringing all the numbers in his favor. And of course, the judiciary was also threatened, as you know. And therefore, for him to have the audacity to tell us that parliament is corrupt and is not part of that corruption network is, to say the least, foolhardy. And it's also akin to him trying to mock the public, because we know corruption has been pervasive in all arms of government. What they are calling judicial pesa for the judiciary, whatever has been happening in parliament, including the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, and many other things that have been happening. We've known that money has been changing hands. And within the executive, we know colossal amounts of money, including the 11 billion that is seen to have gone elsewhere other than where it ought to have been. So, in other words, I have this feeling, Fred, without really overreaching myself, that President William Ruto is just keen on trying to reinvent himself as we go towards the next general election by vilifying parliament, making some of them so cowardly, and making even some of the governors realize that they are in trouble. In the process, he may even jail one or two of his ministers just to prove a point. And once he does that, Kenyans will say, okay.
Is it that the president started a war that he can't finish? Because we have been seeing members of parliament, or generally politicians, now washing their hands clean on this matter of corruption. And they are connecting the president clearly with evidences on how he has been engaging in corruptions.
Lakini, Bwana Apostle, katika Biblia, the book of Matthew 23, 25 to 26, the Bible says, "Woe unto you, the Pharisees. Woe unto you, the Pharisees, who clean the outside of the cup clean the outside of the plate, but leaves the inside full of corruption. Leaves the inside full of impunity. Leaves the inside full of abduction. Leaves the inside full of death. Who unto you the Pharisee? Unatuambia unataka umalize corruption. When you work as a president, you are surrounded by corruption. You see the Ministry of Health paying money. You see a graveyard of corruption. You see the Ministry of Education.
Honorable Speaker, for President to say he's fed on raw intelligence, Honorable Speaker, and moves to make such accusations against us. Honorable Speaker, in law, and you know better than me, anybody who becomes aware of a crime and keeps quiet of it is an accomplice. As we speak, the Honorable President is an accomplice, Honorable Speaker. Why was he giving the 10 million shillings?
Order, Wamboka.
Corruption ndio inasababisha watoto kutomaliza shule kwa sababu pesa ya free education wanaume wanakula. Ndio leo hii ningependa kuambia watu wangu wa Ikolomani na kwetu Isuga na Kakamega kwa jumla kwamba wale watu wenye rais alikuwa anasema waizi, mimi siwajui, na kama wako rais, wacha kuogopa, kuwa kama Khalwale. Khalwale akikupata kama wewe ni mwizi ama usikimunya, anasema kimunya mas go. Mheshimiwa Rais, hawa waheshimiwa ambao ulisema unataka kushika, wenye wanafanya wizi, shika haraka, tunataka kuwajua. But Your Excellency, kwa mkono huu ukishika MPs ambao ni waizi, nataka kwa mkono hii ingine na wewe ushike watu katika ofisi yako na katika cabinet yako ambao pia wao ni waizi. Na wewe Your Excellency unajua. Linturi mwenye
There is also something very important that Kirwa talked about, that if we see the president now out to fight corruption, that is his way of getting re-elected, a strategy for that matter. We all know our President William Ruto is so strategic in all that he does. And so by doing this now, coming out to fight corruption, he wants to sell out to Kenyans that he is a corrupt-free president. Someone who cares for the people and also cares for public resources. That is also something I have seen from this particular fight that the president is now putting on corruption. Guys, that is my take. Do you think that the president is out to fight corruption genuinely, or is he targeting to get something out of the fight? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and let's catch up soon in our next video. Bye and take care.